Nihlani ma'am, which is by Dr. Meeta Nihlani ma'am. Ma'am is going to deal about expanding the homeopathy horizons. And regarding ma'am, she's a very renowned practitioner and has been practicing homeopathy for the past 31 years. She has done her fellowship in homeopathy psychiatry and counseling. Ma'am has also trained at the Other Song Academy and is currently heading the Other Song Academy's International Institute of Advanced Homeopathy in Chhattisgarh, which is India. Ma'am also teaches homeopathy and psychiatry at the Other Song Academy. Dr. Meeta ma'am is the director at Research Institute of Classical Homeopathy, Chhattisgarh. Ma'am teaches the Evolve series to many students who aspire to learn the PEM method. So before moving to today's session, I would like to bring notice of the upcoming and ongoing courses of the musings. So on 23rd, which is on Monday, we have a free musing with master session. We have Dr. Ashok Borkar sir dealing with bogus method. Please register to get access of this session, which is on 6:30 p.m. So we have our flagship course, which is Homeopathy Musings Minerals. This course deals with decoding the periodic table using integrative approach with classical and contemporary method. This has a recording which is available for 1 year, and we have three interactive live question and answer session with Chief Mentor Dr. Mahesh Gandhi sir. Please register to get access of the session. And this in this month we deal with carbons in the mineral course, which is an integrated approach in understanding the carbon group. It is a 3-day intensive musing session, and the recordings will be available. And the session falls on 26, 27, and 28th of March. The timing will be from 7 to 9 p.m. The carbon session will be dealt with Dr. Kriti Sharma and Dr. Reni Sharma. Please register in the below link or please contact the given number to get access to the carbon element. So we have our upcoming course, which is the Common in Organopathics and Practice. It will be dealt by Dr. Saptashi Banerjee, sir. The course highlights the understanding of frequently used organopathic remedies. In this, there will be a clear indications and clinical applicability of the organopathic remedies. Dr. Sir will also be dealing with potency, dosage, and repetition guidelines. Please register, and the early bird offer runs up to 5th of April. Please register to get the recordings, and it is a 1-day webinar and it starts from 7 p.m. So we have another upcoming musing course, which is the Pathological Simillimum in Clinical Practice by Dr. Gajanan Dapkar sir. Sir will be dealing with the pathological simillimum. If you have any confusion about the constitutional, miasmatic, and pathological prescription, I think this course will be very helpful. Simillimum. There will be case-based discussion and clinical insights, and how to handle suppressed symptoms. And the course falls on 2nd, 3rd, and 4th of July from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. IST. Please register in our website to get access to the session. So we have our learning odyssey, which consists of plant, mineral, and animal kingdom. This is an 1-year in-depth course of the study of the three kingdoms. Plant and animal has already been dealt, and the recordings are available. It consists of 120 plus sessions, and this year we are dealing with minerals. Minerals. To get access to all the three kingdoms, please register to this particular course so that you can get the recordings of the plant and animals, and you can also access the live mineral course. So we have our basics of kingdom, PEM, and superclass method. If you want to know the basis of kingdoms and PEM, please register to this course. The recordings are already available. You just have to register to get the recordings. So before moving on to today's session, I would like to bring notice of the basic hygienic factors. Neutral lines all the while. Please keep your video on, which helps in interaction, and please keep your speakers off so that while the speaker is speaking, it won't be of much disturbance. Please do not scribble on the screen, make notes, share your experience, and please enjoy the session. So I will be stopping the screen. And over to Dr. Meeta ma'am.
Yes, so welcome everyone, and thank you, Musings, for this opportunity. And also, it's a pleasure to share our recent learnings. So, as we are all evolving, we are evolving as homeopaths, we are evolving as students, we are evolving as persons. So, even our pathy is evolving. So, evolution is the natural law. So, when I started my practice 33 years ago, we used to work with rubrics, drug pictures, materia medica. So, we had these tools in hand, but gradually, as we are going ahead, the tools in our hands are increasing. So the major breakthrough came when Dr. Shankaran wrote the first book of Spirit of Homeopathy, where we were introduced to this idea that a disease is a delusion and we all are living in a delusion. So for me personally, it was very difficult to accept this fact that how can we all live in a delusion. That time we knew delusions, hallucinations, they are a part of psychiatric uh, diaspora, but accepting this fact that we all are living a delusion was a difficult thing for me. But gradually when I start continued my practice, I could understand that indeed, it is everyone is stuck at one point of delusion. So, in that period of time, we used to try to understand what delusion the person is living. Like delusion, I'm handicapped, delusion, I'm paralyzed, delusion, I'm small. So, everything of his being gets operated from that one point of delusion. So, gradually, when we went further, we understood the energy signature. So for me, this energy signature, this was very thought-provoking. It was very fascinating for me. So I worked for few years, I was working on this energy signature. So something in nature resonates through you with a pattern, and that pattern is your individual energy signature. So with this, I started my practice and continued my practice, and I had a venture of Anahat Healing Foundation where we worked with many healing techniques to understand this energy signature. So we could see the exact resonance of a person with a lion, a person with a rose, a person with lotus, very pure energy, very soft energies. We could see that person is so soft that if we touch, it'll wilt. I had a case of Rose where the girl was so beautiful, so naive, so pure, and she has such beautiful skin that I could feel that even if I touch her, she will wilt. That feel it gave. So my practice, it grew from just rubrics, from learned materia medica to actually seeing materia medica and the energy in the patient. So this was a journey, and because as homeopaths we have to deal with more failures, so gradually we had more and more tools. So after this whole sensation method era, for me, I learned again PEM by Dr. Mahesh Gandhi. And so this journey has been very interesting. And also, I would like to pay gratitude for other teachers like Jan Scholten, Michelle Yakir, who have added many dimensions to our practice. So I would be talking about how these different dimensions have helped me to understand the mineral kingdom and how we have now started to understand the correspondence in mineral kingdom, animal kingdom, and plant kingdom. For example, if the patient is hyoscyamus, so if hyoscyamus is not working and I'm missing the kingdom because of the language, I can think of a reptile. I can think of a sixth row remedy in minerals. So this flexibility and this understanding that, it is a level of evolution which will take me deeper and which will help me to work on the second prescription if the first prescription fails. So many a time it happened that I was not able to work out the kingdom. And now I understand why it was difficult in some cases. Like in leprosyphilitic cases, the animal language always becomes like an animal. Hmm? Right side of periodic table, the leprosyphilitic remedies like cola, like Sikale core. So all these have animal-like language, and because of this, I used to prescribe animal-like remedy in leprosyphilitic cases. So gradually we are having more and more and more clarity. So we keep on working together. So I welcome you all for this session, and I congratulate your spirit which wants to learn more. And I have a spirit of growing together. So let's start this lecture. Sorry, I picked up. So this is mineral chart. Can you see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So see, this is a mineral chart where we see Jan Cholton to Mahesh Gandhi. So Jan Cholton was the first person to introduce us to this way of studying the mineral kingdom. Although we had many teachers who could teach us through group studies, like Farrington had begun the learning of Ophidia and different groups and different plans. But the main group study, the idea was given by Jan Cholton when he started to see periodic table according to Materia Medica. So what he did was, first he just charted out, he sat with a blank wall and he started writing rubrics uh, according to periodic table. All the elements, he started to write rubrics, and gradually he was able to see the characters. He was able to see how uh, a pattern emerged, right? So based on those patterns, he gave us the themes. And what were those patterns? So he came up with the idea that a periodic table has 6 rows and 18 columns. So this 6 rows had different issues, and 18 columns were how to cope up with those issues. So it was beginning to have the capacity to cope up with the issue. It was coming to the peak, and then it was declining. We were losing the capacity to handle the issue. So it was gaining the capacity to handle the issue, coming to the peak and gradually declining and coming to a zero and a rest phase. So this was how the pattern worked, and we'll see what issues are there with each row. So there are 7 rows in the periodic table. So are you able to see my screen? Yeah. So now this is about my introduction, which Dr. Asmita has already given. So I spoke about my Anahat Healing Foundation, a venture where I integrate all these techniques for profound cures. I've got tremendous success in dealing with behavioral disorders in children, autism, ADD, and hormonal disorders, autoimmune disorders like ITP, and rheumatoid arthritis. But it was all because of learning from these uh, methods. So what is the main issue in the mineral? The main issue in mineral kingdom is dealing with the structure and organization, where concern is about lack, forming, maintaining, or losing structure. The issues is about completeness or incompleteness, like something is missing or lacking in the self or structure, or a fear of losing that completeness. So this is understood in terms of existence, identity, position, relationship, security, performance, and responsibility, depending on the roles. But the main thing is, I am lacking. There are people who says, I don't know how to make relationships, so I lack this quality. Or they are very stuck to their identity of making relationships like Silesia. So they will talk about their capabilities. Either they are complete or incomplete. So we have all sorts of patients coming to us for breakups, for affairs, for relationships. So now what we have to do is, if there is a breakup, initially we used to just take Ignatia like remedies that there is disappointment in love. So just give Ignatia. That was our preliminary beginning. But now we understand how that relation mattered to him and how he is experiencing that lack. So if a person says, I cannot exist, if he has this gesture and he says, I am not able to exist without that person, doctor, now life has no meaning. It means the person has primitive ego and he is dependent on the relationships, and then we'll give him a remedy which is in the primitive, above the higher levels of the initial first three rows, because he is complete only with a relationship. So this is a periodic table in which we have 7 rows. First row has only hydrogen and helium. Second row has lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, and neon. So this is the second row. Third row is natrium, magnesium, alumina, silicia, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine, and argon. So as we see now, these are the first 3 rows where there are many blank spaces, but after that, all the columns are fixed. So this is again, we see the evolution here, that every column is fixed and we have all the remedies there. So this is what we see in our patients. As they grow, they have more structure, they have more resources. So as we go down in this periodic table, what we see that the person has more resources to be in this world. Like if a person of row 2 will come, he'll just talk like this, like this. You can see his neck moving, and he's not even. We had a case of oxygen where the patient was just sitting like that, and just she was crying from grief that my mother has thrown me out of the home. So she was. We could see literally that she is not even able to hold her neck like a baby. So she didn't have any resource, and she kept on crying, crying, crying. A 32-year-old lady crying that I'm not able to survive my life without. And this was a case of foreign countries where they are chucked out of the home at the age of 18, and she was 32. So we can see all these energy patterns that she was not able to hold her head like an infant. So we have to, when we work with our remedies, when we work with the cases, we have to start seeing the energy they carry, the resources they have, how much structure they have, what is there in them, the substance, the integrity to be in this world. Hmm. So gradually, when the patient sits, you'll be able to understand the ego structure of the person. So as we go down in the periodic table, this structure and ego goes on increasing. Hmm. So first with sensation method, we saw how the energy signature is there. And with PEM, we see how much ego he has, how much resources he has to be in this world. A Silesia patient and an Aurum patient, both are in 10th column. Aurum, no, Platina, both are in 10th column, but the ego, like if there is a person of 6th row, the aura he will radiate will make you shrink. The question you will ask from that person will be based on the aura he carries, the energy he carries. You can be playful with a person who is from higher rows, row 1, row 2, row 3. But with row 6, you can't be playful. You have to be in your absolute senses to ask a single question. Hmm? Because you know that the energy carry and they are no nonsense people. So that is the aura they bring, and that is where you have to understand where to look the remedy. Hmm? Are you with me? The pace is okay? You can
Yes,
put in the
ma'am.
chat box. Yeah. So let this be also interactive. If there is any issue, if there is any query, because I don't know which method you all practice. So if you want my pace to be a bit slower, or if you're attending these kind of lectures for second and third time, I can go a bit fast also. So just put it in the chat box. Yeah. And if there's any query, if you want me to be slow, if you want to interact, if you have, so let us make most from this lecture. Right? So in stages, we have these 18 stages and 7 rows. So this you can see helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon, and this remedy. All are noble gases. They are inert gases. They don't interact with anybody. So now Dr. Gandhi has also worked this chart, but what he has done this is 18th column is stage 0. So according to that, if we move this column there, so we have 0, stage 0 and 17 columns. So this stage 0 is the rest phase. Hmm? It is the rest phase, womb stage. So all noble gases, they never react with, they don't interact with anybody. So now this is one of the, this chart has been modified by Dr. Mahesh Gandhi. What we see here is, here it is stage 0 or womb stage. The 18th was, it's the stage 0, the womb. So helium, which is in the first column, first row, hydrogen and helium. So helium is the beginning of the second row. Right? So he's in the rest phase. He has come, he is existing in the world, and he's now thinking, I will rest. I don't have any agenda. So this helium is beginning of row 2, which is neon, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen. This is the womb stage. So as you can see this uh, chart, what we see here is we have stages 1, 2, 3 to 17 and 0. And this is again the age. So stage 0 is the womb stage where you don't want to practically start your journey. So every stage 0, it starts one journey. So like helium starts the journey of being in the womb. So after that, we have lithium, where it is an impulsive way of being in the world. Then we have beryllium, which is anal way of being in the world. Then we have carbon, which is adulthood in womb stage. So we have these stages in so these stages are worked on the basis of Erik Erikson. Erik Erikson's chart, what we see here is we have infancy, then we have 18 months to 3 years, which is a toddler phase. Then we have 3 to 5 years of age, which is a preschool or early school. Early childhood, 5 to 13 is school age, 13 to 21 is teenage, 21 to 39 is adulthood, early adulthood, 40 to 65 is late adulthood, and 65 and older age, old age. So these Erik Erikson's psychosocial development stages have been matched with stages and columns of our periodic table. So what Dr. Gandhi has done is he has mapped these columns by Dr. Sholton with Erik Erikson's chart. So now what are these 7 series? The word series is to describe the horizontal rows in the periodic table. So every series has its own themes, its own areas of problem. The word series also indicates that there is a progressive line of development from one series to the next. So again, we see progression here, we see evolution here. And what these stages are, as I described, that there are stages in each cycle. Each cycle consists of a beginning of a project, the successful accomplishment of this project, and then its eventual decline and the final breakdown. It describes the rise, the success, and the fall of undertaking project, business, or kingdom. So now the first series is hydrogen series, and there are only 2 remedies here. First is hydrogen and second is helium. So first row is being coming in this world. You are energy, and from energy you're coming in this world, hmm, in material form. So you're just incarnating. It's like conception. It's the unborn. He's just here, but it's the process of conception. So he's here, but he doesn't know that he exists. So it's the period of the unborn child. So being incarnating is to be or not to be in this world. The theme could be described as whether to incarnate in this world or not. The fact that this series only has two elements is quite symbolic of this general theme, that there are only two possibilities: either you're there or not there. But as we evolve, there are too many stages of being. So this is unity and symbiosis. They experience and have a great desire for unity. This is expressed in deep love for every living being on earth. They feel totally at one with everything. Hydrogen experiences world as whole, because when you are incarnating, you feel as if whole womb, you're not separate from the womb. There is only unity with the mother, because you're not even existing. So hydrogen experiences the world as a whole. There is no division between self and others in the same way that the fetus doesn't feel this division. But later on, this sense of unity is gradually lost, and they begin to feel that they are separate from the rest of the world. It is as if this world has collapsed and they are ending up in the hell. This paradise has changed into the world of good and evil, of me and you. They feel as if they cannot bridge this chasm of separation anymore, and it makes them feel lost and lonely. So, conception, we can match this with conception, like a baby who is unborn. In the development of series of life, this series corresponds to conception and the period of unborn. Also, if we see this correspondence, as I told you all, that we are now trying to see this correspondence. Like if it's a mineral hydrogen, and if it is not a mineral case, so what other remedies we can think? So if it is not so, in plants, we have this full column of Magnolidae family, the Nux moscata family, and Nymphaeals, which is lotus family, opium family. So all these remedies, you know the rubric of Nux moscata. He feels lost in this world. He doesn't know where I am. He's lost in common streets, well-known streets, because he doesn't have awareness. Just imagine that you are in the unified pool, and one fine morning you suddenly come in the earth, and you're the first born on earth. So you're not aware where you are, and there is nobody to interact with, because you have never known separateness. So you have to understand this kind of consciousness. What are we dealing with now when we deal with homeopathy? What are our remedies? They are just consciousness packets. They are packets of consciousness. And when we deal with patients, when we take a history, we are also seeing how much conscious he is about his being in this world. Are you with me? Can you really appreciate this idea? Because now we are coming we are expanding our consciousness, we are expanding our horizons of seeing just one keynote, and we are seeing it in the context of the whole. Hmm? So this is also what Dr. Sholton has written as fractals. What is true is for a part is true for the whole. This was also given us to us by Dr. Boning Hussain. So that was the doctrine of grand generalization. So the world whole behaves in these fractals. So whatever is true for a cell is true for the whole body. So whatever is true for one case, it's true for everything. So you have to see how much conscious he is about his being in the world. So that is what is hydrogen. So this is correspondence of subclass 1 in plants. There is a chart given by Dr. Michelle Yakir, where we have again, she has tried to chart these plants according to the way it has been done in mineral kingdom. And Dr. Gandhi has given us a beautiful uh, animal chart in this way. So if we think of a remedy which is like hydrogen in animals, we can think of spongia, we can think of nidaria, we can see things of from these very primitive remedies, which are mostly sea remedies. So now this subclass corresponds to the stage of human embryogenesis, which begins from the moment of fertilization until the formation of fetus. In the beginning of ninth week, the embryo has no sense of separateness from the mother yet. It still exists in the feeling of oneness with the mother. So this is the stage of row 1 or column 1 of plants and animals. So now you have to understand row 1 is about conception and row 2 is about womb and separation. So once you are conceived, you are in the womb, you have this idea of being in the womb, and this is where your body develops. And then towards the right side of the periodic table, you think of separating from the womb because now the uterus is not able to hold you. Hmm? So you have to remember row 1 is conception, row 1 is separation. So left side of the row is about forming your body. In carbon, there is a feeling that now you have that some sense of separateness. Then after carbon, in oxygen, neon, and fluorine, you want to separate from the womb because now you feel this womb is restricting. Someone which has fed you till now is restricting. So how will the person present in his real life? He will talk about his parents, his society restricting him and not allowing him to grow. So now, as I spoke about row 1, this row 1 is a row of conception and existence. The issue is existence. It is the moment of conception when two become one. When from nothing a new life is born and where the energy is crystallized into matter. So far, they were not there at all. They did not exist. But after conception, the question comes, am I or am I not? Do I exist or not? So here the remedies are hydrogen and helium. But what we learned here in the beginning, that helium, we can take it as beginning of the second row, that he is in the rest stage. Now after existing, now I know I exist, but it has nothing to do, like, it is a big journey coming from that realm to this realm, and now I am tired and rest. I don't want any agenda. And that's why these people, these remedies are of noble gases, where they are done, they are content with who they are, what they are. They don't want to interact with others because they don't want any agenda. So hydrogen is located at the meeting point of row 1 and column 1. Am I or am I not? Do I exist or not? Issues of unity or duality. They seek connection with the form to give them sense of existence. Here she wants to connect with the source. She is a journey back to the source, i.e. sun. Sun means the primordial, and then you're coming here in this world. So this is the core issue, that on a journey and he's coming back. So here, this is the thing, that he's coming back on earth. So here the structure has not yet started to form. So mineral kingdom is about structure, how much structure you have. So if we come to row 4, how much mass, how much money I have made, how much wealth I have collected, how much resources I have. And then towards the end, it is all about losing, that how we know about arsenic. So hydrogen is completely dependent on others and feel that their structure as if its own. So if challenged, clings to the outside structure. I have no capacity. I can't leave the structure. I have to cling. So these people have complete dependence on someone, and mere thought of going away from that person causes lot of anxiety. So there is no foundation and structure of their own. So this is also the story of column 1 of every row. Means if it is Natram line, She will not have her own identity. Her identity will depend on a boyfriend, on a husband, on a parent, on a teacher. So they lack their own existence. So like in that hydrogen, there is no structure regarding the existence. In lithium, there is no structure regarding their body. They are very frail. They're not even sure that they will be able to survive. So these individuals need to be one with the universe, feeling of being united with the surrounding. It gives them sense of existence, and thus union becomes their need. They become needy. They become clingy. So now what is the rubric here? So now see, whatever we are learning, it has to match to the roots. It has to match with our fundamental classic literature which have masters. So we are leaving nothing what we have studied from Dr. Hahnemann, from Borik, Dr. Boning Hussain. So we cannot leave our masters. So otherwise it will be just fact fancies. We don't want to create any facts and fancy theories. We want every line to be practical, and it should be practically applicable in our practice. Are you with me? Whatever we are learning, it has to be practical, because we homeopaths are already overwhelmed with our cases which are not working. So we don't want any theory. Just give me whatever is applicable. Otherwise, I'm not interested. That is our state. So now every part has to be, every theory, everything which, so it has to match with it. So what is this rubric here? Thank you, Dr. Namita. When we get these messages now, so we think that it is being received well, or we are on the same frequency. So please try to be more interactive. It gives us a direction where to go and how much depth we have to take. Yeah. I think my screen is visible.
No, ma'am.
Yeah, just give me a minute. Now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So this is the embryogenesis. This is conception. Row 2 is womb and separation. So this is a rubric, mind delusions, brain wired to the universe is. What is this meaning of brain is wired to the universe? That you are not separate from the universe. You are being guided by the universe. You are literally clinging to the universe, and you don't want to get separated from the universe. So this wire can be seen as an umbilical cord, which is seen in row 2. But here the umbilical cord is to the divine, to the universe, to the main source, yeah, which is the sun, right? So if there is no union, one experiences intense feeling of disconnection, separation, and isolation. There exists no connection with the form, either with the self or with someone else. Without a form, being bodiless, one feels disunited and empty, like a void and vacuum. So these people will always talk about a void in their life. Like, it's a deep, deep void, doctor. It is fathomless. They are not able to understand this fathom, because they are practically not connected to whatever is in this world. So I had a patient long back when I started my practice, and I was just beginning to understand Sholton that time. So he used to say, Doctor, I can't connect it to anyone. And he used to say, Doctor, I just stand like this. Wherever I just find this place, and I just put my hands up, and that is the time I feel I can get some orientation of what is happening. So what was he doing is, again, he's wired to the universe. So he was trying to feel some energy from above, from otherwise he was in the void. So it was such a beautiful case. I had those gestures also recorded. He used to I don't know, doctor, whenever I get disoriented, I don't understand anything, I just go and take a place and I just stand like that. Just imagine the plight of that. And he says, doctor, if you tell me to compare, I don't understand. There should be something other to compare. What do I compare with? So he used to use a Hindi word which was sapeksh. Then I studied that word. It was some relative. You should give me something. I should know what. If you think this is this, so what is other than this? I don't know. So he was in that feeling of unity. So hence one attempts to make connection, as being connected makes one feels that he exists. Oftentimes the ego compensates for his loneliness by seeking attention and recognition so that no longer feels unnoticed or non-existent. So here again we have this rubric of dissolution. So here the whole theme will be being one, desire to be one, desire, one truth, one religion, one humanity, simplicity, spacelessness. They don't understand the dimension of time and space. Being alone, impersonal. So initiative to exist, conception, desire to be one, symbiosis, desire to be one, exhaustion, loneliness through being separated. But here the separation is from the primordial soup of existence. In row 2, the separation will be from the womb. In row 3, the separation will be from the family. So as we go deeper, the words are same, but the experience will be same. Separate from whom? Hmm? So now row 2, the development in row 2 follows conception of fetal life to separation. This process of separation mirrors to the process of labor, where the fetus, which was a part of mother in the womb, has to separate. The main questions that this row will present is, who am I? Am I a part of something or am I separate? Am I attached or detached? So these remedies are lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, neon, oxygen, fluorine, and neon. So now the consciousness of this row is in the body. So these cases will present as hypochondriasis, because the only consciousness they can be only conscious of the body, because they are in the process of development. Whole energy is focused there. So these patients are the ones who will come, doctor, see this, doctor, see this eruption, can you see it's hurting? And you will have to wear your specs to see that eruption. So they will make a mountain of a mole in their body. So most of the persons of hypochondriasis, you have to understand that their energy is in row 2, which is womb stage. So it is the process where their body is being developed. Yeah, this is a time when your sensory apparatus is being developed. Are you with me? So I had a case where she did not have this well developed sensory apparatus, and she could not bear noise. And you won't imagine, this girl was uh, she got admission in one of the prestigious colleges of Mumbai for MBBS. But just because she was not able to tolerate that noise, she was not able to tolerate the filth in the hospital. She says, I don't like those beds, because she has been in the home which is very clean, which is only her space. She could not even share that. So she came back from that college. She had to pay 1 CR if you leave the seat. Now this girl came back. She fell into many relationships. Then at a point when her friend completed dermatology, she became MD dermat. This girl again started studying. She did again. She applied for PG entrance exam. Again, she got a admission in radiology. She says, in radiology, I will not have to interact with others. I will be in my room. So it's okay. I'll take radiology. So this girl scored her. She did not buy the seat. She had that much capability that she could earn her seat, right? But again, after going there, within 2 months, she came back because she was not able to hear the noise. So can you imagine her plight? And then she had to go to a high court, I think, or maybe because she was compelled to pay 1 CR, but she then understood that it is some sign of sensory processing disorder, it is some sign of autism, and on that basis, they did not pay 1 CR again. This girl again, she married, and then within 5 days of a marriage, she came back. So this is a womb stage remedy. Understood? You can now consciously zoom out and see who this person is. In sensation, we use zoom in, and in PM, we zoom out. So both the zooming in and zooming out give us the complete picture of who the person is. So the main emphasis in the remedies of row 2 seems to be a need for connection with people, which conflicts at the same time with uncertainty and fear related to one's own identity. The remedies seem to need the validation or acknowledgement of the self to be able to define themselves or to feel that they exist. Yet, this need for connection and validation from outside puts a pressure that oppresses, constricts, or restricts them from expressing their own identity. So from this, they want freedom. But the price of freedom is fear of unknown, where they feel alone and again without identity. So see this girl, she had to come back from a very good house. It was a very reputed family. She was treated like a queen. They were told that this girl has this problem of sensory hyperesthesia in her ears, so they even made a soundproof room for her. But people don't understand, they were so naive कि कान में problem है, ज़्यादा आवाज नहीं सुन पाएंगे. But they didn't understand. Even the mother, who is a very good psychologist, she didn't understand that this is a developmental issue. So she came back in 5 days. So thus again they start the journey towards connection, validation. The cycle goes on. So the individuals who fall in row 2 are completely naive and very simple. They have no concerns about their appearance, nourishment, security, performance, or leadership. Their main concern is whether they are in the womb or in a protective shell or covering, or if they are outside it. So they have the capability to live by themselves, or do they still need to be a part of the parental figure? So this girl, so the mother-in-law said that this girl has not cut her umbilical cords with her mother, and that is her mother's mistake. But they don't understand that it is not a mistake, it is her way of being, and otherwise she could not be otherwise, without the remedy. So even the mother-in-law was a layman, could understand that the umbilical cord is not cut. So sometimes these individuals express the feeling that they are not visible or noticed by others. So as we progress from the left to the right in the periodic table, this dependency becomes less intense, but it is always present. It is expressed in flirtatious Florine, who at first sight appears to want to get rid of his family. It sees, though he must get rid of all the servants, children must go out of the house, or a betrothal must be broken, a marriage should be dissolved. We have this beautiful rubric of fluorine, but now we understand why. So we understand why of many things. Because fluorine is at the point that he's out of the body, he's out of the womb, but he's still connected to the umbilical cord, which he needs also, but he feels restricted now. He wants the cord to be cut. And that's why all the relationships of the fluorine must be cut. So now we understand the why of the rubrics. This group is also anxiety prone with palpitations. They are pleasure seeking and irresponsible, but go homebound for protection. So again, we see this is energy like mollusk. In mollusk also, you want to be in the shell At the same time, here you feel claustrophobic, you want to be outside, but outside is too threatening, so again you come inside. So we have so many remedies from mollusk. Hmm. So it's Venus mercenaria, Mytilus, Pearl, Conchulinum, Cypria, Helix. And so every remedy now we can map on this development. Like bivalves are, they want to be in the shell. They don't have the idea of outside. In gastropods like Cypria and snails, they have some idea of outside. They want to go outside, but they feel threatened. So they go outside and they come back. So this is again like column 2, like Calcarea and Berita. So they want to go back, but the slight tinge of being threatened, they want to come back to home. So this is a toddler-like behavior. You start walking, but the moment you fall down, you hold your mother. So there is so much holding there. So again, now this is how we see. First, we learned periodic table, we understood the consciousness, and now what we are doing is we are trying to have this correspondence with other kingdoms. Like if we see this correspondence of row 2, we'll see in a cannabis family, Hemamelidae family. Again, they want to be here. What is cannabis? They want that safety and security, so they will see the life from window. We have this beautiful rubrics that they want to see the life through window. So they will watch TV, they will watch mobile, and they don't want to come out of that. So they want to watch the world, but in the safety of their own house. So that is cannabis, and that's why they will take weeds so that they have this imagination trips. So this group is also anxiety prone with palpitations. They are pleasure seeking and irresponsible, but go homebound for protection. So as mentioned previously, row 2 represents the process of separation, which can be compared to stages of birth process. This understanding is derived from cases, materia medica, and repertories. It is not at all a fantasy of some. We have masters working for 30, 40, 50 years of their life to come to some concrete uh, theories, and we are seeing each of this being true in each and every case. Even Dr. Sholton has just he has, according to the rows, and he has framed some of the themes, and that prove right when we work with the case. So now boundaries. So when we see EM, how much boundaries you have is your evolution. If you are in row 1 and row 2, you will not have boundaries. People will just come and penetrate you. Like pulsatilla, everything comes inside, doctor. Everything comes inside. So they will have so many skin disorders. In urtica urins, every influence come inside. So there is so much of urticaria. So how much boundaries you have. So in the left of the periodic table, the boundaries are weak. And towards the right, the boundaries are very strong. So when a case comes to you, you have to see, is he very strong headed? Is he very egoistic? How much real substance this person is having? How much boundaries this person is having? So this is mind, delusion, imaginations, personal boundaries, personal dissolved between self and other. So this is the rubric of LSD, which is again proving that we are thinking on the right lines. So now helium, delusion, imagination born newly, overwhelmed at the novelty of surroundings. So as I told you, he is the beginning of row 2. So he's overwhelmed by the no. Oh, wow, such a beautiful world. In hydrogen, this beauty was not experienced because there was more of fear from coming out. So there was a question of, do I exist? But helium has come down. Now it has his first foot on the earth, and now he has started seeing, overwhelmed at the novelty of the surroundings. So helium is womb stage of row 2. So now the carbon series, lithium to neon. This level represents the development as an individual, and questions such as who am I? This is immediately followed by the question, what is my worth? What is my value? The age of this child corresponds to this phase of development of that of a toddler. A toddler learns to distinguish between different things, and one of the most distinctions is between I and the other person. So what is that which separates you from I and other person? Is your skin. So they will have many skin disorders. So in this phase, the area is being discovered is only small, which is their body. Then is the third row, the silicium series, which is natrum to argon. It is about relationships. Once you are out of your body, you have a mother, then you have a family, you have brother, sister, you have a neighborhood. So this is the age where first family and then gradually later these people will be there. So the area increases to include their house, immediate background, neighborhood, the environment where the child learns to relate to people outside the family. This includes his school where he starts making friends with other children. School means the nursery. So then we have this Perum series, Kali to Krypton. So once you are born in the home, you are named, and now you grow, you have been to school, then you have to interact with the world. Once you're out the body, you have to interact with family. After family, you have to interact with society. So here where you start your abilities. So this row 3 is mother energy, feminine energy, because here the mother is the primary person. But in row 4, father, the masculine principle comes into play. Here you're taught rules, here you're taught how to be. Like, this is my favorite example. Like, if you're riding a tricycle in your home, you will be allowed. Mother will be so happy. Oh, Raja beta is coming. Come, 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 come. He will not be taught rules. But if you ride the same bicycle outside your home, father will teach you. Better see right, see left, go properly. There are, because it is others. So this is me and others. This is me and family. This is me and others. So this is only me, carbon series, me and family, me and mother, and here it is me and other. So here they have to learn to fulfill some task. They have to be schooled by another person, either a master, teacher, school, parent. Eventually they learn to carry the task by themselves. So this is a phase of becoming adult. So this is, and then your consciousness, it grows from home to village. So this is the area of the village or a tribe as it used to be in olden days. The individual gets to know the whole group and starts to determine his own position within the group. So this position is linked to trade. Like for example, he's a baker or a carpenter. So the areas, so he wants to be the best carpenter in the town. Doctor, I want to be the best in my locality. So his consciousness is only the locality. So now then comes the silver series where you have survived, you are born, you have a name in the family, you have relationships, you have now found out resources. You know who you are in your big this, but now your consciousness expands and now you want, like it's a carpenter who makes the same table for years and years. Doctor, this is our tradition. We'll build only Bata, Bata. We have Kolhapur. So Kolhapuri, they will have these designs. But if somebody from row 5 comes in their family, he will take the Kolhapuri chappal to Prada. We had this recent incidents where the same design was produced by Prada, and the Prada had, it's a big brand, international, I think biggest brand. It had to give some royalty to this. So now that Kolhapur ka chappal is now ruling the world. It is out in the international market, and that too in such an expensive segment. So this is the silver series. This is the growth. So idea, the theme here belongs to art. It is advising people, mysticism, being a spokesman. The center theme here is passing of ideas and images. This can be done through painting, sculptures, poetry, theater, music, through speeches or other channeled information from other spheres. So middle age, this A level is usually developed in middle age, but the theme can be present at any age, even in childhood. So here the region which was your home. First it was your womb, then home, and then your village. Now it is a county or a province. The governor of the county is the representative of the king ruling a small area. A large town is usually the center of this area. So now here the word silver species, you say it is the voice and hearing. Speech and hearing are two specific themes here. Yeah, you want name and fame. So any queries till now? Any queries till now?
There was a question, ma'am.
Yeah,
Can you address it now?
yeah.
Dr. Rohini Singer has asked, ma'am, can you also tell how we can extract this feeling from patients practically? I think when you were talking about hydrogen case, she has asked.
Yeah. Which feeling? Hydrogen. That's what I told you, na? The patient was standing like this. Doctor, I don't know, when I'm disoriented, I don't know what to do. I just ask. So he's asking signals, the rubric, what was that? He's wired to the universe. So he's doing this. He just stands and he doesn't have this. Can you make out from this what is this person trying to do? Are you with me? This is how the patient presented. He had nothing to say. He didn't know what I'm doing, but you understand what he's trying. He's wired to the universe. He's trying to get some information there because he is in the energy form. Still, he has not come to his material form. Are you with me? So, please elaborate with the case between example between Kalkari and Kali group. Yeah, I will, if I get time, I'll show you a case from this row. So people have these words, like for example, I gave you an example of my row 2 patient who had just this sensitivity to noise. But you have to understand as a homeopath that this sensitivity to noise is normal, not normal sensitivity. It is the sensitivity because the sensory apparatus is not developed, and this person will behave like somebody who's in the womb. She came back from gynec, she came from MD, radiology, she came back from marriage. So now people will say, Arey, why their family was not good, वो कान में ही तो थोड़ा problem था. They had only, she said, had said only oversensitivity. So why can't the family bear this? Are you with me? That family is being blamed, jabki they made a whole soundproof for her, room for her, but still she was blamed. That family is blamed because this girl, she never came out of the home. When they used to serve on the dining table, they had to keep this mats because this spoon should not touch. And they used to seal the kitchen because obviously if you're making something, there will be some noise in the kitchen. Mixer noise. They were not allowed to use the mixer. So this is how the patient will present. This is how these people will present. I'm sorry, it's taking some time for the screen because meanwhile you can just ask me a question. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah. So this is row 5. Then this is the gold series. So in silver series, your main tool is your throat, your voice. Then we have this gold series, cesium to radon. Here now you have, here you were just a king of a province. You were the main person of the province. You were representative of the king. But in this, you become the king. So this is called as king series. The power is central at this level. It's all about leadership, power over other people, and leadership goes hand in hand with the feeling of responsibility for those people. So this is a ripe age. This is a phase of maturity. The age which people traditionally used to and still do to come to position of power. So sometimes what we see is small little children, they have these leadership qualities. Mother will tell doctor, he doesn't listen to anybody. He'll go out and he has to dominate. And he'll only play till his voice is listened. So you can see this person has leadership qualities and he's having uh, king qualities. We call this as king series and this is adulthood. But here it's the country and the world. The area has been extended to include the whole country and even the whole world. The vision of the king has to make a broader view than that of a baker. The king has to be able to see the whole country in order to plan his strategies. The eyes are associated with gold series. This is the main problem areas of the remedies in the series. And this is the beauty. Most of the time, if it is throat, it is silver series because you want a creative expression. And if it is vision, most of the cases of sixth will have a problem in the vision. Hmm. Then is the seventh, which is uranium series, which is francium to plutonium. They are magicians. They are person who know how to reach their goal with the power of intention and the power of thought. So here in King series, you want power from outside. In Uranium series, you want power from inside. You say that this outside power is not enough because I need to grow from that also. So they want the power of intention. They want the power of thought. They are shamans, the prophets who guide the evolution of mankind from behind the scenes, like people like Merlin and Rasputin. So this is an invisible power. They work with invisible forces. They work quietly in the background, unseen by most forces. Most people in sixth row, they will want that power. But this is the inner power. They know that everything is within and I can tap into my inner power. So this is again like from where we started, hydrogen, and now we are ending the cycle. So it is a way of being connected to the universe, but it is through wisdom. They know how to manifest the hidden knowledge and power deep within the subconscious mind. So these are the spiritual gurus, the real spiritual gurus who can channel knowledge. They can, uh, I've seen people who can speak about so many languages without even reading the book. They can connect again. So this they also are connecting to the universal signals. But this is through wisdom. This is through intuition. So this is a time of very old age, world, universe. There are no limits to the area in which they can focus their powers. They work with the whole world and the whole universe. The themes that go with it are those of super nations, the USA, Russia, China, India, EEC, and specific United Nations. Here, the series focuses on intuition. These people are often clairvoyant, clairaudient, or they simply know. So it's a knowingness. So this is how we see this, and this is the radioactive series. Radioactivity, it can take you anywhere from construction to destruction. So this is old age. So now what we see is when a patient is coming, you try to see how much consciousness he has. Like sometimes you try to explain a person, think of somebody else also, you should be giving also. But if he is in that infancy, he will just talk about taking because his consciousness is only himself. So these are womb stage persons. So I had a patient who for years and years and years, he could see, doctor, I was alone in my dreams. There was nobody to help me. So he was in the womb stage. And the first my wife there. Otherwise, he was in the womb stage just taking and taking and taking. Yeah. So this is how the expressions will be. So now, if there are no questions, I will just take a case. You can ask me any queries.
Yes. So
Otherwise,
there
I'll
are
go
two
ahead with the
questions
case.
from
Yeah.
Dr. Namita. She's asked,
Yeah.
is there any anxiety or fears when they go back to womb?
Go back
Womb.
to
When they go back to the womb.
uh, which persons? I didn't understand the question.
I think she's asked in general. Dr. Namita, can you please
You can
elaborate on the
you
question?
can ask this question so that I can understand.
Yeah, ma'am. This is Namita here. Is there any fear or anxiety also drooling in the womb stage?
Yeah, it is tremendous anxiety. Most of your patients of panic anxiety to the level of panic attacks. Most of your panic attack cases will be from the womb. This person was an architect. He was a builder, but he gradually he just came, he just left after doing many projects. He just started, I don't want to go outside. He just used to stay in his home. He didn't want to meet anybody. And these people, they have nightmares because in the womb you're connected to the other world. He had so many nightmares. He was alone in the womb. So anxiety to the level of panic attacks. Yeah. Because they don't have any resources to face the world, right?
Yes, I think that is it. There is one more question, ma'am,
Yeah.
from Alpa. Ma'am has asked, like, sensitivity to noise is related to womb stage only or can be seen elsewhere too.
No, it can be seen elsewhere. See, some when you're overwhelmed, when you're tired, but there can be this kind of sensitivity that you're not able to take radiology. You're not able to stay in your home. Everybody in your home has to walk like this as if they're walking on eggshells. Yeah, so it is not only of womb stage, but in womb stage, that sensitivity noise is to the extreme level, to the level of hyperesthesia, because the apparatus is not developed. It can be in every any level of evolution. Yeah, Dr. Alpa, is it okay? Fine.
Yes, yes, got it. Thank you.
So Wonders of Homeopathy, this case I have presented in Wonders of Homeopathy. We are doing a series where we present such pathological cases. So this was my mantra. I transform lives through my power to surrender, because this case, it was beyond my, you can say, potential, or I had to question myself, like, are you really equipped to take this case? Because so here we see the link between mind and pathology. This is a case of intramedullary tumor. So this tumor it originates from the spinal material. Hmm. So now what we see is, in this case, I try to depict how the mind and body are related and how the pathology depicts inner age. So inner age and pathology, we'll see how it is related. So this was the MRI in which there was a well-defined intramedullary tumor in a child of 18 years, 18 to 19 years. So this is, and because it was from intramedullary, they couldn't go for biopsy. So this was the probable, and he was being treated at Hinduja. The best neurosurgeon of India was treating him. And this was the possible neoplastic or abscess or demyelination resolving hematomastocytosis. So this was a diagnosis because they were not able to take biopsy in this case. So what is an intramedullary tumor? A tumor arises within the substance of the spinal cord itself, right? So this patient, he had this problem since 18 or 19 years, but when he came to me, he was 21. He says, Doctor, I have an issue with walking. I'm not able to lift my leg. It is heavy. I have no strength in the legs. It becomes numb. It feels dead within. I'm not sure whether I have a leg or not. I'm not able to lift my leg. I have to drag it. He just showed me like that. He was walking like that. He was dragging his leg like aged people. What is aged people? This is what we see, that he is giving us a clue that I'm a old, I'm stuck at the evolution of a old man. My legs tremble while walking, backache when jerk. So can you see the whole pathology is like as if he's an old person? He's not, and the issue is where? At the level of extremities. It is there in the spine, but what is the complaint? I'm not able to walk. What is walking? What does walking do? Where do you walk? So he says, I also have backache because of heaviness. I have to put lot of effort on my thighs to lift my leg. He says, I've taken 3 anti-cox courses. He says, doctor, and he has a history of tuberculosis in childhood. So he says, because of that, doctors have given me 3 courses, although they know that it is not tuberculosis. They have advised surgery but because of the location, even they are reluctant. They want to buy more time. Even I am scared of surgery. Even doctors are scared to touch. So the doctors had said that we are not sure that if we take him to the table, he'll come back or not, because it is intramedullary tumor. So he says life space of this person. Yeah, and he says, I'm scared of surgery because my structure is already weak, और उसमें आप सुई घुसाओगे तो it won't remain. So he says, I'm already weak, and if you, the structure is already collapsing. So what is he trying to say? Can you make something out of his chief complaint? The pathology is giving us where he is in evolution. So this is what we have learned after PEM, that with this pathology, I can exactly go in that area. So he says we own mines, the roads are very rough. We have not been able to we are not given the license again. We are experiencing so much loss in business. So there was loss at the level of structure. His muscles were emaciating, and here there is lots of loss in business. He says there's lots of politics. My father is very rigid. He's scared of authorities and does not bribe them. I have lots of anger against my father. I want to come out of this situation, but he does not allow me to do things on my own. I am so dependent on him for his permission to do things. I won't do wrong, doctor, but there has to be a way. But he doesn't allow me to do. He says, even I know, doctor, that wrong things will lead to punishment. So I'll find out a way. But he's so scared and rigid that he doesn't allow me to do my job. He doesn't allow me to do my business the way I want. And that is why we are experiencing loss in business. So what this, does it trigger something in your ears listening to this language? Any remedy which pops up in your mind? I feel helpless, as if I can't go to office. It is very up and down. I have to put my feet very carefully. I've seen my father work alone. I feel trapped in this situation. I don't know how much time he will work alone. He says, doctor, he used to say 60, 70 kilometers away from my place. So he says, doctor, I can't come back from meetings as they're too long. I feel trapped. So he says, doctor, I can't even come to meetings here. All the banks are here in my place, like in Raipur, and he stays around 60 kilometers there. He says, doctor, because whole day I have to be there. So my father at this age is coming alone, and I feel trapped because I feel helpless. Then I asked him how these issues started. So he says, I wanted to go in one stream, and my father's friend, he had committed that he will give me that stream in my engineering, but after commitment also, he did not give me that branch. So I was very angry. He did not give me my preferred branch of engineering. He said, you should have clearly refused. Then the trustee, he says, okay, next year I'll give you. But he did not give me, he kept me in dark. So there was lots of anger. So he says, doctor, my interest in that subject was not there. So I used to bunk the lectures. So he says my teachers did not like, so they created a situation that where I was not allowed to give an examination. Again, he felt helpless, powerless, because I could not take a stand for myself. Everybody was against me. Hmm? So again, taking a stand, Kelly, what you need is your extremities. And this patient has been hit at a point where he was not able to take a stand. And because of that, he had this weakness in extremities. So he says, in spite of bunking, I used to get good marks. So that pissed off my teachers and also many friends. So he says, because of that, they framed me in a girl's case, because my teachers didn't like that I was bunking, and in spite of that I was getting good marks. So he says they framed me in a girl case, and they compared me to Asaram Bapu. He's a con man who is in jail for raping someone. So he says they used to compare with me, doctor. They used to say that even he is in jail and you will also meet the same fate. This has happened on 13th of September of that year. He says, still I have that anger. I would have beaten there up, but I'm calm because of my father. He started crying. He says, then I had this, he stood for some students' union. There also, he says, there was an opponent who just lost by few marks, and I think he was the mastermind who framed me. So he says, if I am wrong, I'll be proved wrong anyway. So he says, after that, I never entered my college, but I somehow completed my examination, but that wasted my 4 years. So I was very, very, very angry, and how could you say this to me? So he is again having that anger. But again, his father, he says, my father is scared and he doesn't allow me to do anything. So he says, I wanted to settle the score, but Papa doesn't want me to confront anyone. So can you see again, Papa, 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 Papa? Huh? So this is how we have to see now where we'll see the remedy, where Papa is coming. I told you all recently. So I did not want to make contact. I was ashamed. So he says, it was like Three Idiots movie that I didn't study, but I could get marks. So my friends were also not with me. I was not able to look at myself in the mirror. So much embarrassment. Then I asked him, any other issue? He says, I'm losing my memory. What are his aspirations? He wanted to do something big in life. He says, my work is not very small. We have minds. Doctor, not anyone can have minds because they will not get a license. So he says, I have a portal where I can achieve anything. So he says, I want a comfortable life. I come to you in bike, but for 60 kilometers, I want to come in car. I want to go in flights. So he says Reliance has earned so much. I also want to make it big. So I think what you feel when you see Ambani, he says, I think how can he manage such a great business? He has not even go to school, how his brain functions. Yeah, so he is thinking of Ambani and how his brain functions. So he wants to buy a BMW. He knows he has the potential. So these are his food cravings. Then past history of back injury when a child hit him. Again, there were losses in business. He says, Doctor, I have seen so much lack in we were so poor. I've seen so much lack. He says, my father is a social worker and he gets engaged with the fights. So I don't want to engage in any kind of social work. So in the dreams also, he used to see of achievement. He had fear of heights. So now what is the analysis? How do we see what, can you just say what kind of remedies we can give him? Any remedy in your mind? Yeah, Dr. Padmaja has written row 4, stage 1, Kali Broom, 5th row. Anyone else? Anyone else wants to try? Which remedy? What is he talking about? Business, money, resources, his mass, his muscles, his legs, his father. So masculine principle is there. He is not talking about mother or love, mother gave me or not. He's talking about the father. So father takes you out of the home. You go out of the home with extremities. So this is row 4. Are you with me? So now someone has written Kali Kab. Row 4, stage 2. He has so much anger. He's talking like an old person. Extreme left, how you see his ego, how much ego he's having. Does he say, I'm not able to do something like Calcaria? Doctor, he's saying, doctor, if my gives a father gives me permission, I can start my mines in a minute. I know how to get it. It is only my father is not allowing me. So what is this? Is he saying I will not be able to do it? I need help from my father. His father is not allowing him. See his ego. He's burning with anger. Are you with me? He's burning with anger. So what we see is he is something from right side of periodic table. This is how you have to see. It is row 4, but is his ego very weak? कि पप्पा नहीं करने देंगे तो छोड़ो. He has anger. He knows he can do it. But only that dependency of a mineral is not allowing him. But he has that ego. He was able to talk to HOD. He came first. He was a leader. He wanted to go for this politics and leadership. So leadership means he's right side. He's towards the right side. His ego is well developed. Yeah. Stage 15. What is the remedy there, Dr. Padmaja? Pyramid. So should I disclose the remedy? Yeah. So this is personal evolution. What is his inner age? Old age, weak legs. Are you with me? He needs somebody. He wants to walk like that. He's very careful about his steps. So my father gave me the greatest way. He believed in me. The confidence which you get is from your father, and he has that confidence. So legs is row 4, mineral chart. In plants, if you see its plant chart, it is subclass 5, the anacardium and the Restox family. So it is me and the other, the father principle, and he has so much ego here. He says about right and wrong. So these are all the themes of row 4, right, wrong, rules, punishment. So what we see here, he is from row 4 definitely. What is this case? There is no sensitivity. There is no animal here. But the way he says they are against me, this is because he is in the right side. He has that leprosyphilitic myzum. So because of the myzum also, you can get that animal language. But basically, it is dependency on the father and not being able to take the decisions independently. So now again, when we go to the chart, what we see here is first is the conception hydrogen, then it is the womb stage. Is this womb stage? No. Is this nutrition? Natrum line? No. It is I and others. School age. What are his dreams? That I am getting good marks. Whole thing is about not being able to achieve at school, because if I would done that degree, doctor, I would have got a very good job. Then I wouldn't have been dependent on my father. I would have left him here. I would have gone to a big city. So this is school age, I and others. What problem he had? He had from others. But he is towards right side of the periodic table, because left side there are no boundaries. There is the ego is weak. Here his ego is very strong and he's going towards old age. So first is like a child, and as we go towards the right side, all the halogens are old age remedies. They have strong anger, all bromine, iodine, natrum, this muriaticum, chlorine. So all, and fluorine, all halogens have lots of anger. So as somebody said that this is late adulthood, column 15, but here the column is column 17. So remedy given was bromine. Arsenic is 15, which is late adulthood, but what is his pathology? What he says is, I walk like an old man. So now 16th is selenium, old age, and 17th is again advanced old age. So here we gave him bromium. School age, row 4 is school age. In PEM, we see this as school age. The main issue in row 4 is security, especially in terms of money, finances, relationships. The row 4, security, task, stability, solidity. I know who I am, but now I need safety and security, which my father was not able to provide because he was scared. So these are, we also study element in PEM. Earth is mass, structure, base. So this process of accumulating mass from outside is important theme in row 4. So they have marked fear of poverty. So how much? So now this is row 4, but how much mass he wants? How much mass I'm lacking? How stable I am? So how much mass he wants is like Ambani. So he has a big ego. ऐसा नहीं छोटा मोटा घर बना लूं and I'm okay. So this is all the elements here. Row 4, Kali, calcium, scandium, titanium, vanadium, chromium, manganum, iron, cobalt, cuprum, zincum. So we have bromine here. So these are all row 4 expressions. And what is the row 4 expression of bromium? Totally insecure, incompletely alone to face the danger and attack. They feel there is nobody to protect them. They have issues to do with host, being pursued, conscience, hitting and being punished. So he's completely alone to face the threat. The attack is so big from outside. This is bromine. Otherwise, if I didn't understand this, I would have maximum given him arsenic, as Dr. Padmaja said. But it is just fine tuning and just towards more right side because he's old age. Arsenic is still not that old. Selenium, we have seen premature ejaculation. So it is coming towards old age. Yeah. So from arsenic, the old age is starting. Selenium is slight more. Bromine is the oldest. So what are, if we see the rubrics, mind, delusion, imagination, conspiracies against him are. Yeah, here we have Kali Brome. So otherwise, if we see just the rubric, we give Kali, but we don't see that impulsive, clingy nature. He was not clingy to his father. So I had to rule out Kali from here. Pathology, back tumors, we have bromium here. Mind, delusion, imaginations, people, someone behind him is bromium. People are after me because I am good in studies. So again, what we see the chart, we see cases. If we believe, see we back tumors, the only 3 rubrics I have taken. If we don't understand this sensation method, we don't understand PVM, I would have given him only cases. But now we understand this comes to plant, this comes to mineral. And what mineral? As Dr. Padmaja said, arsenic. If I wouldn't have known this chart, periodic table, I would have given him arsenic. But we have bromium right besides it. So this is how the 5th remedy in the chart was given confidently. So this is a mineral structure, but here the structure is getting destroyed. Doctor, the structure is so weak that it will collapse. So how much collapse? How much weak the structure is? So we have here bromine. I started from 30, I came to 1 m. So in clinical tuberculosis children in also chromium is covered. He had tuberculosis in children. So this is the his final MRI. So there was slight, it was remaining. So doctor said, I wanted him to go for one more MRI, but doctor said, forget about your problem, now you're cured. So his neurosurgeon, who was the best in India, he gave him a clean chit after seeing this. Iske baad you never worry about this. This is a child during the process. See how he has built his muscles. Isn't it beautiful to see this pic? He's building his mass, his muscles, and these muscles were emaciating. He was losing muscle mass from his thighs. See what he says?
अरे यार क्या मतलब है हमारे का भले का और मैं फालतू का अपॉइंटमेंट लेके बॉम्बे जाने का कोई मतलब नहीं है यही मैं था बढ़िया जो भी था उनसे पूछता था और क्या चलो ठीक है अब तो जो होना था सो गया अब मैं नहीं करूंगा हमारे बस अब करना उसके बाद फिर जब रिपोर्ट लेने जा रहे थे तब भी मैं पापा बोलता कि क्या करोगे पापा रिपोर्ट लेके कागज का टुकड़ा तो रहना है तो ठीक होने मेरे को कोई दिक्कत नहीं है तो पापा बोले कि नहीं यार चल ले करके तो गए तो रिपोर्ट आई तो पापा पढ़ रहे थे मैं ऐसे ही खड़ा था फिर अचानक से नीचे का जो कंफ्यूजन उसको पड़ा तब न तो यार यार ये तो कम हो गया करके नहीं तो पहले तो मेडिकल साइंस में भी बड़ो स्ट्रेंज है क्या स्ट्रेंज है
So he's saying that I didn't even want to go for an MRI because I told my father, why do you want to go me to go? I am perfectly all right. He was even able to build this body during this process. So he says, I know I am better. Why do you want to go for an MRI? But the father was very scared. So he made him do that. So this child said, Arey, MRI maybe it is better. He was surprised to see that even his MRI is better. So now the father is speaking in Sindhi, which is my mother tongue. So he's saying, Doctor, you have created a miracle here. See what you can hear these words and then I'll translate.
just knowledge
I don't have any knowledge. So whatever I listen, whatever I hear, कहाँ से बोलते हैं? शहर में जितना सुनता हूँ. See his consciousness. शहर से जितना सुनता हूँ. He has not googled, he has not gone to the शहर से जितना भी सुनता हूँ. This is incurable. This is a rare thing.
ये रेयर केसेस हैं जिन्हें ये मामले फायदा से तो करो ये तमाम रेयर आ गए यू रेयर है लेकिन वही है नथिंग इज इम्पॉसिबल नथिंग इज बस श्रद्धा से हेलो हो गया मिरेकल मिरेकल हुआ ना लेकिन अभी और थोड़ा सा बाकी है हाँ और बाकी है थोड़ा सा पूरा क्लियर होना जरूरी है जी जी
See, this is what I wanted him to clear, that small remnant which you saw in the MRI cleared. But when he took this report, after the MRI, he directly came to my clinic, and after meeting me, he went to Mumbai. There the doctor said, now forget about MRI, इसके बाद कोई जरूरत नहीं है. So although I was insisting him, बोले doctor, now don't give me that pain, now it is okay. So he has given this testimonial.
Everyone, I am Tushar Ramani, and I had a problem of walking at the age of 20, and I was diagnosed as having an inflammatory spine tumor. I consulted the best neurosurgeons of Mumbai in best hospitals. I was given anti-course size, and finally I was suggested a spine surgery, which too they were scared of because of the location of the tumor, and they were willing to go ahead with. That was the time I opted for homeopathy from Dr. Meeta Nihlani, and I gradually started getting better. I got an MRI done and seen significant changes in my clinical condition and in my body also. My neurosurgeon who agreed and said there is no need for any further MRI. You are absolutely all right and I am doing very great, and I have stopped the homeopathic treatment to come back to.
Right, so this is the case, and this is how the patients will present. Yeah. So this is how the study of periodic table, we all could have reached arsenic easily, but it was just 2 columns here. This is the beauty of studying homeopathy, because at a point I wanted to give up this case, like I was not equipped, and it was a big story that how I continued with the case. I wanted some grit, but somehow I think I got some signs. I wanted signs from God that please give me some signs. I am not equipped from the case. So after a month, I just came walking to clinic that day. I was asking signs that do I really take this case? Am I really equipped? Am I playing with this child's life? So when I was coming, I was asking these signs, and their car was parked, and that was somehow my driver was not there that day. I came walking. So when I just saw their car, it was we have a common guru. He's also Siddhi, but we have a common spiritual. So I thought this is a sign he's there, he's watching, and that is what made me take this case. And recently on 1st of March, 1st of this month, he got married, and I went 60 kilometers to attend his wedding. And his sisters were, with tears that you have given us our brothers back. So this is how the study of homeopathy gives you these results, which were not possible with best neurosurgeons. Yeah. So if there are any queries, otherwise we'll sign off. Thank you so much and wish you all the best. We hope to grow together. So we have a YouTube channel where we have posted such cases also, which is of PM module, and my personal YouTube channel is there. The Homeopathic Musings is doing such a beautiful work. There are so many cases there, free sessions also. So we are all coming together to spread this beautiful gift of homeopathy. So we need to take each other together. Yeah, so Dr. Mansi will sign off.
Yes, yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. It was a wonderful case, and it was like a really very motivational to practice further, to learn, and to never stop learning in
Just
homeopathy.
from arsenic to bromium. Column 15 से 17 में कहानी बदल गई, miracle हो गया, है ना? So whenever I see
Yes,
this, I feel surprise. Yeah.
yes, ma'am. Thank you. I would just
Issues
lastly
related,
ask,
yeah, issues
sorry,
related
ma'am.
to ears and eyes where to look for. So you cannot generalize, but if the main issue is here in the ears, you can see it is chakra 5, throat chakra. And eyes is this. So when we do PM, we are even studying chakras, and we have free sessions of chakra book reading sessions also. So we cannot pinpoint like yours means this, but overall throat and yours is row 5 and eyes is vision, which king needs. King needs to have a vision for a so that is row 6 or the king series or the old age or adult age. Yeah. Okay, Dr. Mansi, so all the queries are also done. Thank you so
Yes,
much.
ma'am. Thank you so much for giving us this opportunity to learn directly from you. Thank you so
Yeah,
much, ma'am.
bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you so much to all the participants for joining us live. We'll meet next time with a new topic and a new speaker. Thank you.